What's up, it's Kit. Time for another video. Today, we're gonna be rigging this Owner 40-gram ultra slow, okay? And to help us with that are these hooks that Wael got for me from Thailand. And although these are not specific slow jigging hooks, we're gonna be using them, and we are going to be tying these hooks as slow jigging hooks, and they're gonna be awesome. Okay, so also we're using a different vise today. I'm pretty sure that I've already introduced this to you guys, but for these sizes, they work great. They work absolutely fantastic. You can see there, it holds really well. And well, yeah, it's actually on the cheap for guys that are on a budget. And if you're fishing with smaller jigs, so if there's no need for you to actually get into like the big stuff, this is the vise to use. It's cheap, it's fast, very efficient, works really, really well. All right, if you're new to the channel, this channel talks about the hows and whys of fishing. We cover everything from big game, ultralight, everything in the middle, including fly fishing. And today we are rigging the Owner Ultra Slow 40-gram with these hooks. And I'm going to be talking about these hooks. This is actually a hook type that we're going to be talking about and not a specific brand, okay? So if you're not familiar with this hook shape is called the Isayama, okay? It is a very versatile shape that you can actually use for a lot of things. And one of those things is, guess what? Specifically this. It's to use for light, slow jigs or light jigs. You could use them for fast, light, fast jigs as well. And you could use them for Inchuku, okay? So this is what we're gonna be working with today, okay? Now, as far as the cord is concerned, we are going to be using this marine black from Fish Fighters, okay? And this is 85-pound test. Very easy thing that we're gonna be doing. Okay, we are going to put that on from the bottom, and we will put a knot on this just to secure it, okay? And guys, the toe point of this would be from here, okay? So make sure that you're actually inserting it, from the top. And then we will loop its overhand, okay? Overhand knot, and then we will tighten it like so. Okay, so just like that. And I'm gonna be zooming you guys in so that you can see exactly what's going on here, and I'll explain, okay? Okay, just bear with me, guys. Okay, focus. Okay, so this is what we've done, okay? Basically, we went from the top, go down, knot, and then that is the overhand. And we tighten this. Okay, flip this over so you guys can see exactly what's happening here. Okay. Now what we do is take that, tighten it like so. Okay. Just tighten it so that it doesn't move. It's like right there. Okay. And tighten this bit like so, and then just like that. Now we take our binding thread, and this is fishing braid that we're using here. Very, very thin fishing braid. For those that are curious, this is actually 2 pound. Okay, and then we will just bind the tag right there. Okay, it's sort of spinning on us here because we haven't really tightened this bit, but we'll do that in a bit. Okay, right now, let me finish this and then I'll explain. Okay, so okay, now take this and then pull. See, then take that and jam that in there. All right, now, basically what we did here, hold on, there, lower. So basically what we did here is just tighten everything and then bind the back so that it doesn't unravel, okay? Now we can actually glue that because as you can see, there's still a lot of gaps there and the wraps are not finalized. And what we're gonna do is just take some super glue. Okay, run that there, and then and just like that. And that thing's not gonna move. Hold on. Try to take the gaps again, like I mentioned so many times. Cover the gaps. And what that does is actually press and push on the super glue so that it will fuse. Okay, there we go. It fuses with the shank. For those guys that are not familiar with this is actually a carving knife that I just use here for cutting. Okay, so aside from the kiridashi, I use this, and I have this whetstone. It is as sharp as one of these, but obviously it's not disposable. You save, and the cuts are precise. So I kind of sharpen it in between uses, just so it retains its edge. You can see there, this thing is very, very clean. I like the color scheme as well. Okay, so that, and as you can see, the line there is coming out from the top. And if you notice, this hook is actually not a bent eye. It's actually kind of works like a spade head. And you have the extra security of the eye. So the knot jams. One of my favorite hooks for light fishing, and I really wish that the manufacturers would make like heavier versions of these, but they don't. So Esayama is a general shape, and a lot of brands have them. Okay, so they should not be technically hard to find. Okay, I'm gonna switch over to my other vise here, because you know what, that actually, this is the reason why I don't film with that. Okay, because it takes so much space because of the body. Okay, so you see here, right, it takes so much space, whereas this one's actually just bare, and it's kind of easier for me to actually see things. Okay, so we take this. Now, the tricky part for this whole operation is making sure that you have the right length for you know, the the jig, because the measurement here is kind of awkward when you're doing it, right? So what I do is just to ensure that I have the length at least covered. You mess up, not an exact science. So basically, I take the length, and if it's too long, I'll put it at the back. And if it's too short, then I'll put it up front, and then worry about the, what do you call this? The balancing. Okay, so as far as this is concerned, it's actually kind of easy to tighten this because of that, right? So just take these and then just tighten it, and that's that. Okay. Again, make sure that you're actually putting the exit point on the hook side. These hooks are actually quite sharp. Just reminded me here. I have to do this. You know what? These small hooks are the ones that actually get me in trouble the most. So I'm gonna be extra careful. This is like this. These things are so sharp. And there was one time actually that I fainted. I hate needles. I really, really hate them. So at that time, I got embedded with the needle got in. It was a PTFE hook, and that was horrible. I actually fainted. You know, so the phobia of needles is actually that bad. Like, I faint. I'm not afraid or shy to say that. You know, so it's one of the worst things for me. It's like needles. Lately, it's been okay though. Since I was hospitalized, I just kind of accepted it, and it's been better than. Actually, I would rather get cut by a knife than actually get stuck by a needle or a sharp object. So that's that for me. Anyway, so okay, that. Let's flip this over so it's actually kind of more intuitive for you guys to see. And I'm also gonna zoom in again, and actually just bring this up, turn you guys in like so, and then zoom in so that you guys can see. Okay, there we go. Awesome. Okay, so now that we have that, we just super glue. And with the super glue, I put this on the, as you can see there, just on top. And then I'm gonna push this in. This for me isn't as critical as without the knot when you're tying. That's why I don't put it on the sides. For this, you have the knot as security. And all you need to do is just wrap this cleanly and take care of those gaps. And you'll know that it actually gets pushed in. And each time that you're turning, the super glue gets carried onto the other side. Like so. There's excess there. And we take our trusty chopstick. Okay, we need a bit more. Okay. And then just spread that all over. Okay. Then go knife. Okay. So this is why I love the knife. Just like that. Pull the line. Bang. Look at how precise that is. You know, compared with a pair of scissors. So, yeah. Okay. You know what? I didn't even check if this thing here is dry or wet earlier. I just didn't want to get stung. All right, we're good. We're good, boys. We're good. Okay, there we go. Okay, now we're gonna put a solid ring on this thing. Now, when you're fishing rocky areas, you could just put this hook on top, and you'd be fine. But if you're fishing in areas like sandy areas, or even in, when you think there's areas you're fishing and more than likely you'd be missing strikes, then you could go ahead and put you can go ahead and put 4. Up to you. I'm gonna show you guys a trick. I am gonna show you guys a trick. Okay, so let's fix this. All right, because you know what? This is a trick I use, and I think it's about high time that people actually see this. And you need a GP ring for this. Okay, so here's one. So I'm gonna put it there. I'm going to use Flashaboo. Okay, and it doesn't matter the length. Okay, but we'll pick out about that much. Okay. Okay. Now, what I will do is actually take that length, fold it like that. Okay. Then cut this like so. And then we are going to we're going to distribute, okay, so that we get like a middle. Okay, so now that we have that, okay, I'm going to bring you guys in closer so you see. So there's the GP ring. Okay, I'm going to take this, and then I am going to take the braid splicer. Okay. Okay, like that. Take this here. Okay, we have that. Now we take this and we pull it like so. Okay, so let's do it with the blue thread, which is thicker. Okay. Okay. So, okay, and then a few wraps. Basically, what we want to do is we want to wrap this tight. Okay. Like so. Yikes. Okay. Now close this. There we go. Now we can cut that. And then I'll explain everything in a bit. All right. Now, I'm going to cut this bit so that it is kind of equal. Okay. So, right here. Okay. So basically, we've made sort of a tail. Okay. And then we will super glue this so that it doesn't break apart. Okay. Now I'm gonna also explain the pros and cons of this whole thing. Okay. So, like, I wasn't planning to share this, but it's better if I did. All right. Now you have a piece like that, and then let's take some. Let us take some solid rings, split rings here. So load-bearing split ring. All right. Okay, I'm gonna rig this up so you guys can see exactly what's going on here. And this is what I use when I'm fishing kind of like, let's say, unfamiliar places, and when the bites are less. But for this particular one, I actually have a way to, what I do is mostly make sure that I'm always in contact with the jig. Strider agrees. Okay. Now, there's always a choice when it comes to these things, okay? So, should you choose to use this in conjunction with the hook on the bottom, go right ahead. Like I said, how you make your elephant sandwich is your prerogative. But the thing with this, as you see, is that the hooks are optimized so that when the fish bites, boom, just like that, it'll get caught. Okay? Now, especially when you're fishing smaller jigs for bigger fish, this is actually quite good. I just don't like the headache of dealing with 4 hooks. So, the problem also is that if you put only 2, the balance is off. But I discovered that if I put this and it gives it a little bit of resistance, it doesn't spin, or it doesn't spin as much. Spinning is not cool. All right, so when you're fishing this, the bonus is that if you're reeling this in straight, it actually swims. It actually swims really nicely. All right, so here we go. That is it. Now, that's it for this jig right here with Wael's hooks. Alrighty. Thank you so much, Wael. Works great. Okay, so this is just one of the ways to rig the owner ultra slow jig. And this is a rig that I use when I'm fishing in areas where I know there's big fish swimming around, but kind of pressured, and I don't want to spook them. Okay, so that's that. Alrighty, if you've learned something, go ahead and click on that like button. YouTube likes that sort of thing. And if you haven't yet and you want to learn more, click on the subscribe button. If you want your friends to see this and Fishing is miserable when you're alone. Seriously. Go ahead and click that share button. Either share this video, share this channel so that they would actually also learn with you. It's always a point of good discussion with fellow anglers, right? And if you want to support the channel more, click on the join. That's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching and hanging out with me, rigging this jig. That's it for now. See you in the next one. Class dismissed.